Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive. This time, we're talking all about those brain-boosting nutrients. You know,
Yeah.
keeping our brains sharp and all that.
Keeping our brains sharp, absolutely.
Those Alzheimer's statistics that some of you sent in, they're
Yeah.
a little concerning.
They are concerning, yeah.
So I thought we'd dive in and really unpack some of this research and see what we could do
Yeah, let's do it.
about maybe, even reversing some of these
Well, and
degeneration issues.
that's a really fascinating area of research right now. I think there's growing evidence to suggest that
Yeah.
we can actually reverse some of these things.
So let's dive in.
Okay.
Everybody's always talking about omega-3s, DHA, and EPA.
Right.
Can we go beyond the basics here and really break down how those
Sure.
impact our brains?
Yeah, so DHA, for example, is like a building block for brain cells.
Okay.
It's crucial for the structure and the function of neurons.
Mm-hmm.
Those are like the communication highways in our brains. Okay.
And if we don't have enough DHA, those highways can become stiff and inflamed. And that leads to communication breakdowns and, cognitive issues.
And I was reading about a study where they saw some potential in reversing some of those issues with DHA.
Right.
Elderly participants with memory deficits, they actually saw improvements after taking, I think it was like 900 milligrams of DHA every day for like 24 weeks.
That's right.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and beyond its structural role, DHA also acts as the potent antioxidant,
Oh, okay.
which helps to protect our brains from damage.
Mm-hmm.
It stimulates something called the NRF2 pathway,
Oh.
which is kind of like our body's own defense system against oxidative stress.
Interesting.
And it increases the production of something called heme oxygenase 1.
Heme oxygenase 1.
Yeah, it's another key player in protecting cells.
So it's not just building the brain, it's actually protecting it as well.
Absolutely.
Now, I saw something here about protectin.
Yes.
What is that?
So protectin is a signaling molecule that comes from DHA. Okay.
And it acts as a neuroprotectant, essentially a bodyguard for our brain cells.
Okay.
It shields them from harm, and research suggests that it might be really promising for new therapies.
Wow.
For conditions like Alzheimer's.
So DHA is obviously a star player here.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, what about EPA?
Yeah.
We always hear about EPA for mood, but there was something in here about a surprising role it plays in brain health.
Yeah, so you're right. EPA has been linked to mood regulation, but the challenge has been getting enough of it into the brain,
Really?
even with high fish oil consumption.
Uh-huh.
However, there's been this really exciting breakthrough discovery of a form of EPA called lyso-Pc EPA,
Okay.
and it can significantly increase brain EPA levels.
So you're saying that just taking your average fish oil supplement isn't going to cut it?
Well, it might not be enough.
What makes this lyso-Pc EPA so special?
Yeah, so it's all about how it's absorbed and transported.
Okay.
Lyso-Pc EPA is like a VIP pass. It allows EPA to reach the brain in much higher concentrations than standard EPA.
Wow.
Studies in mice have shown that it can increase brain EPA levels by 100-fold.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
What does that mean for
What's
that?
even more remarkable is that it doubled DHA levels as well.
Whoa. So it's boosting both DHA and EPA.
It's a powerful 1-2 punch.
So what are the implications here for human brains?
Well, it's still early in the research,
Sure.
but the potential is huge.
Okay.
This specific form of EPA could be a game changer in addressing both mood disorders and neuroinflammatory diseases like Alzheimer's.
So we've got to make sure we're getting the right forms of these omega-3s.
Exactly.
Now, there was a lot of emphasis on phospholipids in the article.
Right.
What role do they play in all this?
Okay, so DHA and EPA, they actually need to be packaged into phospholipids for efficient transport and absorption. Think of them as like tiny delivery trucks.
I like that analogy.
Carrying these precious omega-3s to our cells, including those in our brain.
So is that why we hear so much about krill oil being better than fish oil?
Exactly.
Okay.
Krill oil naturally contains DHA and EPA bound to phospholipids,
Right.
while fish oil has them bound to triglycerides. This difference in packaging is crucial for bioavailability, meaning our bodies can absorb and utilize the omega-3s from krill oil much more efficiently.
And this ties into that research by Rhonda Patrick
Right.
about phospholipid-bound DHA.
Yeah, so that
That's
research
being particularly beneficial for people with that APOE4 gene.
that phospholipid-bound DHA can actually improve transport into the brain.
Wow.
and potentially mitigate the risks associated with the APOE4 gene.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it highlights the importance of considering the form in which we consume these nutrients.
So it's not just about getting enough omega-3s, it's about getting them in the form our brains can actually use.
Exactly.
Now, the article also mentioned choline as a crucial nutrient for brain health.
Yes.
What makes choline so important?
Choline is often called the memory molecule.
Okay.
It plays a fundamental role in brain development, learning, and memory formation.
Mm-hmm.
But its benefits extend beyond that. It can actually protect against Alzheimer's
Wow.
by reducing homocysteine level,
Okay.
which is an amino acid linked to neurodegeneration.
So it's helping prevent the formation of those harmful plaques in the brain.
Exactly.
I also remember something about choline's impact on inflammation.
Yeah, so choline also inhibits microglia activation.
Okay.
Microglia are immune cells in the brain, and when they become overactive,
Yeah.
they can trigger inflammation,
Right.
which is a key driver of neurodegenerative diseases.
Okay.
So choline acts like a peacekeeper,
Interesting.
calming things down and protecting the brain.
So we've got these omega-3s working together, and then we've got choline stepping in.
Yeah,
It's like a brain-boosting dream team.
they work synergistically.
What about phosphatidylserine? I remember reading about that as well.
Yes, phosphatidylserine is another powerhouse. When it comes to cognitive function,
Okay.
think of it as a booster for processing speed and memory. Studies have shown it can improve the speed of calculations in short-term memory
Wow.
and enhance overall cognitive function, especially in older adults.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
It sounds like phosphatidylserine could be really helpful for those who are struggling with mental fatigue
It's definitely
or feeling like their thinking's a little sluggish.
exploring, yeah.
So far, we've covered omega-3s in their phospholipid forms. We've got choline. We've got phosphatidylserine.
Right.
All critical players in brain health.
Absolutely.
Now, the article also mentioned vitamin D,
Yeah.
which we always associate with sunshine.
Right. The sunshine vitamin.
What's the connection there with our brains?
It's fascinating. Research has shown a clear link between low vitamin D levels and poorer brain function,
Interesting.
especially in older adults.
Okay.
Increasing vitamin E levels has been shown to improve cognitive health and potentially slow age-related decline.
So getting enough sunshine could actually help keep our brains sharp as we age.
It seems that way.
What's the mechanism there?
So vitamin D plays a crucial role in various brain processes,
Okay.
including neuroprotection and reducing inflammation. Studies have even shown that vitamin D supplementation can improve cognitive function in older adults with mild cognitive impairment.
So what if we're not getting enough vitamin D from sunlight? Can we supplement?
Absolutely.
Okay.
In fact, for many people, especially those living in areas with limited sunlight or those with darker skin tones, supplementation is crucial
So maintain.
to maintain optimal vitamin D levels.
This has been amazing. I feel so much more informed and empowered now about taking charge of my brain health.
That's great to hear.
There's more. Right?
There is more. We're not done yet.
I'm excited. What other brain-boosting gems did you find in here?
Well, you mentioned a few other intriguing nutrients in your research materials.
All right, let's do it.
Like acetyl L-carnitine.
Acetyl L-carnitine.
Yeah. It plays a crucial role in energy production within our cells,
Okay.
especially brain cells.
So energy. I'm all about boosting energy levels.
Yeah,
Especially when it comes to the brain.
absolutely.
So how does this acetyl L-carnitine, how does that work?
It acts like a shuttle, transporting fatty acids into the mitochondria,
Okay.
which are the powerhouses of our cells.
Right.
This process helps to generate energy, keeping those brain cells firing on all cylinders.
So it's like giving our brain cells a direct line to the energy source.
Exactly.
I like that.
Keeps them fueled up and ready to go.
Have they seen any cognitive benefits from supplementing with this?
Studies have shown some promising results,
Okay.
particularly in older adults.
Okay.
It seems to enhance memory and improve overall cognitive function.
Hmm.
There's also ongoing research exploring its potential in conditions like Alzheimer's disease.
Very interesting. It sounds like a promising avenue for supporting brain health as we age.
Yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on.
Now, what about vitamin B12?
Yes, vitamin B12.
The article mentioned that,
It is important.
but I always associated it more with energy and,
Right.
a red blood cell production.
Yeah, it's crucial for that too.
What's the brain connection there?
So vitamin B12 is essential for the formation of myelin,
Okay.
that protective sheath that surrounds nerve fibers.
Hmm.
Think of myelin as insulation,
Okay.
ensuring efficient communication between brain cells.
So if we're deficient in B12, those signals might get kind of scrambled or lost.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
A B12 deficiency can manifest in a variety of ways,
Interesting.
including cognitive decline, memory problems, and even mood disorders.
Wow. I'm going to have to make sure I'm prioritizing some B12-rich foods.
It's a good idea,
Okay.
especially as we age.
Now, what about MCT oil?
Ah, MCT oil.
I've heard some buzz about that
Yeah.
for boosting brain power.
It's getting a lot of attention lately.
But how does it work?
MCT oil stands for medium-chain triglyceride oil.
Okay.
It's a unique type of fat
Okay.
that's quickly absorbed and converted into ketones by the liver.
Okay.
Ketones are an alternative fuel source for the brain, especially when glucose is limited.
So it's like a backup generator.
Exactly.
Like a backup energy source.
When our main source is running low.
Yeah. The brain can switch gears and use ketones for fuel.
What are the benefits of using ketones for brain fuel?
Research suggests that ketones can provide numerous benefits for brain health,
Okay.
including enhanced cognitive function, reduced inflammation,
Okay.
and even protection against neurodegenerative diseases.
Wow. So MCT oil could be a way to give our brains
It's a promising area of research.
a really clean and efficient source of energy.
That's the idea.
Okay. Last but not least, I want to talk about probiotics.
Probiotics, yes.
I know they're important for gut health.
Absolutely.
But how do they relate to our brains? This is where we get into this really fascinating field of the gut-brain axis.
The gut-brain axis.
Yeah. Scientists are discovering this really powerful link between the trillions of bacteria that live in our gut and our brain health.
So you're saying that the health of our gut
It's pretty amazing.
can actually influence
the gut, blood, think, and feel.
Yeah, and the brain are constantly communicating.
Wow. How is that possible?
These gut bacteria produce various compounds that can actually communicate with our brain, influencing everything from neurotransmitter production to inflammation levels.
It's all connected.
It's a complex and intricate system.
So nurturing a healthy gut microbiome could be another key strategy for
component of overall health.
Supporting brain health as well.
Absolutely.
This is really groundbreaking stuff. I'm starting to see
Yeah, it really changes
that we can't just focus on one area of our health.
how we think about health.
You know, in isolation.
Yeah, it's all interconnected. A holistic approach is essential
Exactly.
for optimal health and well-being, and that includes brain health.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
This has been such an incredible deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
I'm feeling very inspired to implement some of these strategies.
That's great to hear.
Before we wrap up, I want to make sure that we kind of summarize
Absolutely.
the essential takeaways.
Let's do a little recap
Right.
and provide some practical steps you can take.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
All right. So as we wrap up this deep dive on brain-boosting nutrients,
Yeah.
what are the key takeaways here?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway is that you have more control over your brain health than you might think.
Okay.
By making smart choices about your diet and lifestyle, you can give your brain the nutrients it needs to thrive.
Yeah.
You know, it's not about just accepting cognitive decline as an inevitable part of aging.
That's good. I like that. So we're not just stuck with whatever brain we inherit. We can actually
You can actively shape
it.
its health and resilience.
Okay, so where should I start?
Well, first and foremost, prioritize those marine-based omega-3s, DHA and EPA.
Right.
And remember, the form matters. Look for krill oil or fish oil that contains phospholipids for optimal absorption.
Got it. Phospholipids are those tiny delivery trucks.
Right. Think of them as your brain's best friend.
Making sure those omega-3s
Exactly.
get where they need to go.
They're going to get those nutrients right where they need to be.
What else is on the menu?
Make sure you're getting enough choline,
Okay.
eggs, liver, soybeans. Those are all great sources.
For memory.
Absolutely.
What about phosphatidylserine?
Don't underestimate phosphatidylserine. It's a real cognitive enhancer.
Especially as we age.
Especially as we age.
Okay, so eggs for memory.
Yes.
Phosphatidylserine for that extra cognitive edge.
Give yourself that boost.
Now, what about vitamin D?
Vitamin D is essential.
Okay.
Soak up some sunshine whenever possible, and consider a supplement if needed.
Especially in the winter.
Especially during the winter months, yeah.
Got it. Sunshine and supplements, check and check.
You got it.
Anything else?
You know, brain health is a holistic endeavor.
True.
Nurturing your gut health with probiotics, managing stress levels, getting enough sleep, engaging in regular physical activity.
Yep.
All of these things contribute to a healthy brain.
This has been so valuable.
I'm glad to hear that.
I feel like I've got this whole new understanding of how to support my brain
That's wonderful.
and keep it healthy.
Yeah, knowledge is power.
You mentioned a few other areas to explore.
Yes.
Acetyl L-carnitine,
Uh-huh.
vitamin B12, MCT oil.
Yeah, those are all worth looking into.
I'm going to do some more research on those for sure.
Keep that curiosity alive. It's been a pleasure diving into this topic with you.
Thanks for guiding me through this deep dive.
Of course.
It's amazing how much we can learn about keeping our brains healthy and strong.
Absolutely.
Until next time.
See you then.